What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mets Central, and today we are going to talk about the Mets' latest signing as they made it this morning. They signed Jake Diekman. I don't think we know the contract details yet. If I had to guess, but the way that this offseason has gone, it's probably a 1 or 2 year deal, maybe an opt-out in there, and it will probably be $5 million or under, and I will take that for Jake Diekman. And it's not the sexy signing. I think most Met fans wanted Wandy or they wanted Stanek for the bullpen, but Jake Diekman isn't a terrible option, especially if he was on the cheaper side. I'll take it because the Mets did need, in my opinion, another bona fide pitcher in that bullpen where it's a sure thing of what you're going to get, where there was just way too many gambles in the bullpen. There still is, and I think they need at least one more guy where it's a sure thing, and Jake Diekman is that. And we'll talk about all of it, though. Before we do, please be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. And turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. But the story of Jake Diekman's career pretty much has been he'll give you solid innings. He'll give you a solid ERA as well. But the guy walks way too many batters. He walks way too many batters. And with the White Sox, I mean, it was a tale of two seasons, though, for him. With the White Sox, he was absolutely abysmal, and not surprising. They don't know what a computer is in the White Sox organization, so that doesn't surprise me. He had a 7.94 ERA, which is just ridiculous to even say out loud, and 11.1 innings pitched. He allowed, 10 earned runs? Yeah, 10 earned runs. Had 13 walks allowed, so the walks were high. Had 11 strikeouts. And his whip was at 2.1. That is just absurd. His FIP was at a 5.90. And his strikeouts per nine at 8.7. Walks per nine at 10.3. Just a hideous start to the season. And then he went to Tampa. And what does Tampa do? They just, they make pitchers good. They make anyone good. And in 2.1, he had a 2.18 ERA. I don't know why I was about to say in that many innings pitched, but in 45.1 innings pitched, he had a 2.18 ERA, and he allowed only 2 home runs, 25 walks. So again, the walks were still a little bit high. His whip wasn't terribly high when he went there. It was at a 1.12 when he was there, so not terribly high. His FIP was a little bit higher than his ERA at 3.21, which is still respectable at the very least for a guy from the bullpen. Reliever ERA is weird. It gets inflated if you have like 1 or 2 bad outings. So that's just kind of the nature of it. His walks per nine was at a 5.0, and then his strikeouts per nine were at a 10.5 when he went to the Tampa Bay Rays. So definitely the tale of two seasons for him. And then you look at, the fan graph numbers too. His ERA for the entire year was at 3.34. His FIP at the year was at 3.75. So his numbers at Tampa definitely helped out his season. Still a very solid year. The only real question I maybe have is, will there be a decline in any way because he is going to be 37 going into the year? I don't know. Only time will tell with that one. But I do like looking at the pitch arsenal that he does have. That does intrigue me. His changeup, he actually utilized it more this year than he has in previous years. He really hasn't utilized the changeup a good amount since he first entered the MLB in 2015, where he threw 42 of them. This past year, he threw 146. That tops out at about 88 miles per hour, and that's not bad considering, he's a lefty. He's a pretty hard-throwing lefty. His sinker's at about 95. His four-seam sits at about 95, could touch 96. His cutter sits at about 89. His sweeper sits at about 84, so he does have a really good pitch arsenal. Sweeper is also very solid, actually, by the look of things. But, the only issue is going to be that he walks batters. It's really the biggest issue. You look at the Savant page, and he's in the first percentile in walk percentage. That's not ideal at all. Not ideal at all. He walks way too many batters. But again, you look at the velocity, very interesting stuff to work with. And I don't think they're really going to be able to control his walk stuff. It just has been a thing, it looks like, his entire career based on the numbers, just looking at them right now. But if they could, regress it to what it was, with Tampa Bay, you're going to get a very serviceable relief pitcher out of the pen. And even in years prior, he has had the walk rate low, but it's just been a very long time since he's had it like really, really low. It's just been an issue his entire career. But again, if that could just stay at like a 5, his walks per 9, I would not be complaining. I would not be complaining if they got that type of service from him and its ERA sits at about, 3.5 or so. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to be the first lefty coming out of the pen. He's going to be getting lower leverage situations. Brooks Raley's going to be the first lefty coming out of that bullpen. So Now the bullpen's definitely looking like it actually is solidified a bit more. Again, I wanted Wandy, which does kind of suck about this, but I'll take it. I'll take it if he was the cheaper option. Now the bullpen's looking like Diaz, Ottavino, Raley, and then Diekman will slot in there as the other lefty. Drew Smith, Phil Bickford, Lopez, and then Talkins. All of them are listed there, which would leave them with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would leave them with 8 pitchers for the bullpen. There's still Sean Reed Foley. Tyler McGill might get some innings. Austin Adams might get some innings. So there are definitely more options now, and I do like getting more of a sure thing. I still would like an upgrade from Phil Bickford in that bullpen. I don't feel comfortable with him. Again, I know he was good down the stretch, but something about it just doesn't smell right. Like, I don't know. I'd rather get more of a sure thing back there and go get one more relief pitcher, but there is going to be competition at spring training at least to make this a little more interesting and maybe push Bickford to be better or push him out of a spot even if he's not good. So there's at least some depth in the bullpen, which I do like. I don't know. I would just prefer for them to maybe go out and get just one more sure thing relief pitcher, which I don't know what they could do unless they get Stanek, who is still on the market, but his price would have to drop because all the reports are saying that the Mets don't want to get him because of the price being so much right now. But that's really all I got, honestly, on this signing. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you have not already. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.